Hello, welcome to Take a Break. Today I'm here with,
Hi, I'm Rudy.
we're gonna talk about gaming in the game design pathway at ATech. So, Rudy, why don't you start by telling us about your capstone?
Yeah, sure. Again, Rudy Avila. I am the developer behind Habla Conmigo. It was a one-button adventure game that we sort of put together for our big capstone project. Our goal with that was to make something really different, weird, and using a lot of aspects that I learned over the course of my college career here. My background is in video editing, video production, a lot of that kind of stuff. I sort of edited like short films to be like individual cutscenes, and then made these like platform levels out of those cutscenes. So every asset in our game is actual video footage. We don't have any like drawn assets because I'm terrible as an artist. So I just try to make do with what I could, and that's sort of where the idea for like the primarily home footage, home aesthetic came to be. We put a lot of research into the actual game itself, which I think is something that sort of ATech, especially as their program admires. They want sort of more intuitive thinking when it comes to like putting together video games. So there's a lot of really cool games being developed here on campus, and one of the biggest factors about those games is that they bring something totally unique that you don't normally see in other video games. Yeah, so I haven't really talked too much about the current game I'm working on, but I guess I can sort of talk about it here. I'm working on a game called Leave Not a Shadow. So it's sort of a action adventure-y RPG like sort of Zelda style adventure game. I use like 16-bit and 8-bit graphics, sort of like a retro style game. But we're looking for something more action heavy than you'd expect from like a traditional RPG. But the sort of cultural research behind this project is that we're taking in like I'm taking a close look. I keep saying we, like there's a team behind this. It's just me. It's very sad. It's I'm looking at the timepiece from around the Texas Revolution and sort of Mexican abolitionism at that time. So the role of slavery during the Texas Revolution and sort of Mexico's policies and the responses and how that affected different individuals during that era. Honestly, I wouldn't have my job without ATech, but I sort of came about it in a weird way. So the last I checked, I don't know if they're adding it now or anything, but there wasn't really. There's 2 film production classes here on campus. My current job is as like a video editor for game studios, sort of, and a bunch of other roles or whatever. But I took the film production classes here on campus, and I just worked as hard as I could and bring cool videos together and stuff. And it was noticed by the professor, who then recommended me to my current employer. And it was something that I don't think I don't know if it's necessarily. It's funny because like that this is like such a subject of, or like so indicative of ATech as a program. I came in with like the video production experience, and I was just sort of given the opportunity to practice it more on my own, and that's sort of when it flourished. So the same could be said for like game development here. It's not as much as like, it's not that they're gonna teach you everything you need to know about making games. I mean, they will give you the information for the most part, but like they're not gonna say like, oh, if you do these assignments like exactly this way, then you'll have your perfect video game. It's a lot of it is just like how passionate you are and how much of your own effort you want to put into the product. I mean, like when I was first learning like Game Maker, it was all self-taught, pretty much tutorials that I had to watch on my own. And it's just like YouTube saved lives out there, just with all those videos out there. It's kind of strange. I see ATech, the experience I get here more as like the networking and the research and academia that I think is really important when developing games, and both for like research and for like actual like CS knowledge and computer science knowledge. It was a perfect. If many from like my classes, from my CS classes, kind of got. It was a mess, but CS is good now. I don't know. They change the program every 2 years. I don't know what's going on. Yeah, a big thing that I do I focus on a lot is I try to follow as many like developers as possible, regardless of like, oh man, they're like super popular. Like, oh, that's this one dude who like made this incredible project that's super intimidating. I don't have those skills. I just like follow everyone that I just enjoy their games.
Yes.
And you'd be surprised in like some incredible tweets that they make and like the knowledge that they drop. Like recently, this like random developer from like, I want to say like Sony Montreal or Sony Santa Monica or something, was tweeting out like the role of game designers in that they're not necessarily people who are supposed to come up with the idea and like make the rest of the departments sort of do their bidding. It's more of like being a designer is being able to facilitate the ideas that your whole team comes up with, and being able to communicate and work together. And I think that was a pretty good like life advice that like I took to heart. And yeah, it's just like you'll never know unless you like follow them, put out there, say hi, support their games, stuff like that.
Okay, well, that's all I had for today. We're gonna have a second part for this show, which is just Rudy and I having fun playing video games, enjoying life.
Let's do it.
So yeah, I think it's time for us to take a break, and I'll see you next week.
See ya.
See ya.